people. Andrew Luck's 16 interceptions in 2014 ranks 6th most in the league, and a Football Outsiders article on ESPN.com analyzes that Luck could actually have worse interception numbers. Our adjusted interceptions metric removes fluky INTs, Hail Mary throws, drop passes, and adds in dropped INTs and picks broken up by the offensive player. And when you look at Luck's first three seasons, through that prism, it's clear he's been lucky to not throw more picks in his first 3 seasons. His 21 adjusted INTs were the 2nd worst mark in the league, this after having the worst mark in the league during his rookie season. And for some perspective, the other 5 top-tier quarterbacks, Rodgers, Brady, Big Ben, Breeze, and Peyton, had an average of 14 adjusted INTs in 2014. Skip, that was a novel I just read you, but I know you got it all. What do you make of this?
Just let's get to the bottom line here. Andrew was lucky. That's the punchline to this. He should have had far more interceptions in each of his 3 seasons. And I want to thank Football Outsiders for having the guts to look harder and go against the grain and finally give me some film breakdown stats to back up my contention, which is one of my pet peeves on this show. The premature coronation of Andrew Luck drives me nuts. I've never said he's going to be a bust because he's clearly far, far, far from a bust. But he's clearly not a first ballot Luck Hall of Famer, because that's all I ever hear from this guy and through that camera right there and everybody else on this network. Andrew Luck, he's Andrew Luck. And I say, just show me. Just show me, because I do look harder, because I was an RG3 fan, and RG3 did outplay him his rookie year, when RG3 had 20 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions, and was the offensive rookie of the year. But now I have some ammunition, Mr. Smith. And I look at Andrew Luck's interceptions 2 years ago. They were 18 on paper, but they could have been 30. Maybe they should have been 30, given dropped interceptions, near interceptions. Last year, his 16 interceptions could have been 21. That would have made him 2nd worst in the National Football League if, in fact, those balls had been caught. I look at turnovers, because this man has been a turnover machine. His rookie year, his combined turnovers, interceptions, and lost fumbles, 2nd only to the butt fumble artist who used to be Mark Sanchez. Last year, just this last year, his 3rd year in the league, Andrew Luck's combined turnovers were 2nd only to your favorite quarterback, Jay Cutler. Really? And he's a first ballot Luck Hall of Famer? Premature coronation. I continue to ask you, what's he done in the postseason, in which he is now 3-3 when the money is really on the line? 9 touchdowns to 12 interceptions in the postseason, completing only 56.5% of his passes? You might call that Tebow-esque, and you might be right about that. 56.5% of his passes, and of course that nightmare game, the Deflategate game at Foxborough, his QBR was 26.4 in that game on that Saturday night, which is on a scale of 0 to 100, 26.4. Premature coronation. I could go on and on with these stats, but I think I'm seeing an early turnover machine. He's just a kid. I get that. And they pointed out that his attempts per game, his average attempts per game, 37.8, is now 2nd most in NFL history at this moment through 3 years. Well, they're asking him to do too much. They're trying to make him into a first ballot Hall of Famer. They're treating him like one now. Maybe this year with Frank Gore, they can get back to running the football a little bit more. Maybe with Andre Johnson, they throw a few more higher percentage possession type passes. I don't know, but so far, not so good for Andrew Luck, because you cannot turn the ball over that much and be that successful in this league.
You know what? Sometimes you make me sick, because, see, I see how slick you can be. What this is really about harkens back to Peyton Manning leaving for Denver Irsay making the decision that rather than bet on the next 3 to 5 years, I'm going to bet on the next 15 to 20 with this kid coming out of Stanford, and how you obviously was against that decision because this is a win now.
3 years, the next 3 years.
Listen,
and I was right about that.
I said 3 to 5.
Okay.
I'm giving. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Skip. I apologize. Has Peyton Manning has he won any Super Bowls in Denver yet? I don't know. I may be wrong. I don't recall.
Yeah.
I don't recall it got to one. What happened that afternoon? Don't get me started. The point that I'm trying to make to you, the point that I'm trying to make to you is that, guess what? There's no Super Bowl championship. At the end of the day, Peyton Manning has just as many Super Bowls as Andrew Luck since Andrew Luck came into the National Football League. It's point number one. Point number two, Andrew Luck has been sacked 100 times in his first 3 years in Indianapolis. Now, granted, it was 41, I think it was 41 the first year, 32 the second year, just 27 last year. So it's going in the right direction, but he's been sacked 100 times in his first 3 seasons as an NFL quarterback, okay? Because we all know that at least at some point, the Indianapolis Colts offensive line was suspect. Their running game was virtually non-existent. And Andrew Luck had to drop back to pass and throw the football and fling the football because their defense wasn't elite either. Well, over the last 3 years, when we talked about elite defenses in the NFL, the Indianapolis Colts were not in that conversation. So if the Indianapolis Colts weren't in the conversation for their stout defense, if they weren't in the conversation because of a stout running game, if the offensive line was nowhere in the vicinity of being compared to the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles of the world or any other respectable offensive line like San Francisco and others, basically what it came down to was Andrew Luck, the Indianapolis Colts, rode and died with this brother and what he did. The ball was in his hands. What does that mean? You're going to have to take chances. And following up, being the successor to the great Peyton Manning, I applaud Andrew Luck for going out there, being as brave as he is, as a gunslinger, trying to go for it. So what does he do his first 3 years? 11 wins. What does he do his first 3 years? 3 postseason appearances. Wild card berth first year. Divisional playoff appearance the second year. AFC Championship game appearance his third year. Progressive steps along the way. And now the Indianapolis Colts finally went out, got Frank Gore, who they can rely on because he was averaging about 4 yards a carry for the San Francisco Giants, and that's pretty much what he's done throughout his career. Getting an experienced dude like Andre Johnson, even though I would like to still see Reggie Wayne back there with T.Y. Hilton and Andre Johnson in my perfect world, but that's neither here nor there. All I'm saying is Andrew Luck is not perfect. There is no question that there were interceptions that he could have had, just like there are other quarterbacks who got lucky where things could have been intercepted and it didn't end up being that way, including Tony Romo, including Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and others. It happens when you throw the football a lot. But in the end, Andrew Luck is big time because when you project what this brother is capable of based on the eye test and beyond, even with the 16 interceptions, he led the league with 40 touchdown passes. This brother is a big-time ball player. He's young. He's got a lot of growing to do. He's going to make mistakes. There is no question. But I also think there is no question that when his career is all said and done, in the next 15 to 17 years, because to me, he could do about 20 years in this league, Andrew Luck will be a Hall of Famer, and he will be a champion. Can you say that about RG3?
Well, he got hurt. Are we discounting that?
Oh. You know what? Hold on. You know why? You know what? I'm not discounting it for RG3's purposes.
Yeah.
But I will discount it for Andrew Luck's purposes. You know why? Because those tree trunks for legs that Andrew Luck has. The brother's a football player. He's a big boy. And I tried to tell you that factors into the equation. His durability. He can take hits. He can take punishment. He's still athletic. He's got tree trunks for legs. He's got a rifle arm. He's got an athletic, big NFL body. This brother is somebody that you can rely upon for years to come. We're wondering whether RG3 is going to last month to month.
And this big, strong brother has been a fumbling machine in the pocket because he holds the football too long and coughs it here and coughs it there. Second most turnovers last year to Jay Cutler. Really? Oh, let's hold the Hall of Fame ceremony right here, right now, and just put him in. After that, seriously?
No, not at all. He doesn't deserve it if it's today. See, you changed the narrative because it fits your argument. But the fact of the matter is, when people talk about Andrew Luck in the fashion that you accuse us of, we're saying when all is said and done, that's what nobody's going to look at Andrew Luck right now and say he's a Hall of Famer. Of course he's got to play better. But for 3 years in the league, there ain't too many people that have been more impressive than this kid. Okay. And you need to show him more respect.
No, I refuse until he shows me more performance.
Of course you do. Of course you do, because it doesn't fit your narrative.
No.
I mean, because to give him respect, you'd have to be admitting that you were wrong about
all these numbers. That they're not a narrative. They're the facts.
Since when do you care?
Just sweep them under the
carpet. You throw out stats when you want to.
I knew you would.
You pick stats when you want to. You throw them out when you want to. You're moody. You're moody with it. Please.
Moody?
Andrew Luck is going to have something to say about it. Andrew Luck right now is the top 10 quarterback in the NFL. Nobody's disputing that. 3 years in the league, top 10.
Yeah, I'll put him in the top 10. I won't put him in the top 5.
Damn right you
will not back off my contention going back 4 years ago that the Indianapolis Colts would have had a better chance to win the Super Bowl over the next 3 years after Peyton went to Denver and they shoot him, pushed him out the back door in Indianapolis. They would have had a better chance to win the Super Bowl. A lot of people thought Peyton was shot. I did not. And was I right?
Wait a minute.
The first 2 years in Denver, could he have not been MVP?
I didn't think he was shot. Stop lying. Stop lying. I didn't think Peyton Manning was shot. That is not the argument. You're not going to sit up here and get away with lying to America like you usually try to do. You were making the argument that it was better to go with Peyton Manning for 3 years than go with Andrew Luck for the next 20. I said go with him for the next 20. We all knew that he wasn't going to be better than Peyton Manning the first 3 years. What we were saying is, do you pick 3 years or do you pick 20? That was the argument. Don't change this. Nobody said he was going to be better than Peyton Manning over those 3 years. Nobody said that.
I'd have to check the tape on you, but I know a whole lot of people on this network.
Of course you got to check the tape.
Yeah, I would, because I don't think you were real bullish on Peyton's chances coming off all the neck procedures. Remember, he had 4 neck procedures.
You'd be arrested right now and held in contempt for perjury because you're lying.
I'd bail you out.
That was the argument. 3 years to 20.
You know
Nobody said he was better than Peyton Manning.
I might have to take you to court to clear my good name.
You'd be indicted on perjury charges right now.
Yeah, I'm a liar.
You're just trying to be slick.
Legacy on the line. We can all agree. We can all agree. The other phases of the game need to step up to take the pressure.
The audience knows who won that. It's okay.
All you got.
Yeah.
He's got just as many rings as Peyton Manning over the last 3 years.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Gentlemen, we cool?
Both of them got the same amount of Super Bowl titles. But Andrew Luck going to be around here a decade from now. Where's Peyton going to be? He might be on TV with me and you.
Yeah.
I hope he is. He's good.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, so to take the pressure off Andrew Luck, obviously he needs the line to step up the running game and the defense, and obviously that's why they brought in Frank Gore, and he should fit in nicely into Pep Hamilton's offense. And also, let's not forget the 2 pieces they added on defense there on the D-line, Kendall Langford and Trent Cole. Skip is not excited
Whose side are you on here?
Either. Listen, I think Andrew Luck's legit. I think he just needs the rest of the team to step up.
You're going out on a big limb
I'm
there.
just telling you to take the pressure off him.
Okay.
All right, Brian Cashman.
Don't be scared of Skip. Skip ain't gonna do anything to you, Molly.
The great Derek Jeter.
Go ahead and agree.
I love you both. Find out what we said when we come back. I can't win.
Don't lie to the American people.
Help me.